Alright, welcome to part 4 of my great train trip video journal. So this is us departing from our room at BCMI Inns in Hinton, Alberta, about an hour outside of Jasper. So we're checking out here. Today we're going to board the Skeena, going to Prince George and ultimately to Prince Rupert. So here we are, just going to get in the elevator here. Heading out to our Dodge Charger rental car. So as you can see, we got our big old bulky backpacks back on. The Timberland Hotel for Andrew. So now we're heading back to the Jasper National Park, and we're listening to Jackson Browne on the aux cord. So yeah, just some more nice mountains on the way into Jasper. So just some more just incredible scenery, and that's Golden Earring you hear now on the aux on the car stereo. So here's a totem pole in Jasper. We had a pretty good amount of time before we had to catch the train, so we just kind of hung out. We got breakfast at Canada's greatest, Mr. Tim Hortons. I got a nice iced coffee. That felt so good. That day was super hot. But yeah, Tim Hortons. We got breakfast there. First of a few times at the Tim Hortons. So here we are back at the Jasper station, and I saw this this 4-unit consist. Though I think only the first 2 were powered, and they were just towing the rest. But I thought I must have. I was under the impression that this grain train was huge. So, anyways, here's the Skeena. And the first 2 coaches are where we are, but this is the touring class, the panoramic car and the park car. But that there is the Skeena. And we are now on board the Skeena. And if you notice the way the camera is angled, that is because we were like the last people to get on the train, and we were forced to get what was left. Literally, this train was sold out. And I mean sold out. Like, both coaches in the economy section were completely booked with like tours and stuff. So yeah, we got the worst seats in the house, which is why I titled this one "Cheap Seats," even though it's a standard price. But oh my god, like this is appalling, honestly. Like I was really irked by this. This was like, I was really regretting making this decision to take this train at this point. It was pretty bad. I could go on and on and on about like how horrible I felt with these seats, and I gotta kill some time, so I might like. But yeah, so we booked Economy Plus under the impression that that the Economy Plus would be like Economy Plus on an airplane, where it's like on an airplane you get a little extra leg room and stuff like that. But it's like, but here on Via Rail, Economy Plus only means you get to book some extra baggage and you get travel insurance. So you don't get access to the park car, which was my impression of what this was for, which really got me worked up. But anyways, I pulled out the tripod for this occasion, so that's why the footage is a bit more stable than normal. But it isn't the most stable because the space was so small that I just had to barely extend the legs. But yeah, geographically, we're heading out of Jasper. You'll see some freight train pass us with some nice angles with the track arrangements and stuff. but the angles won't be very good because of how absolutely horrible these seats are. So yeah, I think I'll just pause the voice recording and just pick it up again when we reach an interesting point. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that the reason I have these running so long is because I wanted to get the train staff's announcements. We had two very, very great service managers on board. Okay, here's the freight train, by the way, so you'll see some interesting angles. First, they were both French. The first one, the head guy was named Jean-Francis, or JF for short, and his assistant was a lovely French lady named Beverly, and who is, friends with our sleeping car attendant who we came in with on the Canadian. So we got to know them much better because they cater to the touring class a lot better than they do economy class. But again, you can just see just how absolutely horrible this seat was. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave you at that, and I'll pick up the voice recording again whenever something interesting comes up.
Every time we go in the tunnel, on the bridge, or in a very short curve, we are mandated, obligated on the transit carrier to activate the whistle. So with the same sequence, 2 long, 1 short, and a long. So it's 2 long, 1 short, and long whistle. For the engineer, the sequence of activating the whistle. Sometimes you'll hear a short sequence of short rapid whistle. That would be the engineer trying to steer away from wildlife that would be trespassing on the rail. In the wintertime, they like to walk on the train tracks as there's hardly any snow. And there's also some freight trains that carry grains that have a little seepage. They like to help themselves in the grain on the train tracks. So again, whiteboard, the letter W, stands for whistle. Seat track. Seat sign. Now, even though Canada adopted the metric system way back in 1976, the railway industry is a North American industry, therefore we use the imperial system. We go by miles per hour. For seat signs you'll find a diamond-shaped yellow panel. Diamond-shaped yellow panel with a number. For example, you might see a diamond-shaped with a number 45, that would be 25 miles per hour track speed. Sometimes there's 2 numbers. The higher number is for passenger trains, the lower number is for freight trains. Another thing you might see is a triangle, yellow. A yellow triangle panel, sometimes they're just plain. Sometimes you'll see a little design that is, for example, a radio wave. These are the locator of the hotbox detector. They're located every 20 miles or so. Hotbox detector is just a little computer equipment that analyzes speed, the condition of the brake, the axle, temperature.
Okay, so here we are now at Moose Lake, and I put the camera up on the tripod a bit more, so I got a slightly better angle, but it's still really, really, really terrible because of the seat. So yellow headlight. Oh, he's saying yellow headlight. I thought this was Moose Lake. Oh well. I could have sworn based on the colors that was Moose Lake. Actually, oh yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, that's Yellowhead. Moose Lake is coming up. So we'll I'll pause the recording again, and then we'll pick it up when we get to Moose Lake.
Northern were forced to take all their tracks off and all the steel was sent to Grant during the First World War. So now on the other side of the lake right now we have the Highway 16, which has been set up on the foundation of the road that used to have the Canadian Northern tracks. They used to have a little outpost out there called Newtown, They were also harvesting the ice here during the winter time. Actually, this lake.
Okay, so we are now coming up on Moose Lake. This is going from the other direction, and so you can see the lake from this absolutely terrible angle that we're at. And I'll pick up the recording again once we're at another interesting point.
8 miles or 13 kilometers long. Beautiful emerald green color is due to mineral deposits coming straight from the glacier. We have the glacier on the southern to the south here. Between those two ridges mountain there, you'll see Sun Falls and Rainbow Falls. And that's what feeds the lake. The old days used to be known also as Black Mountain, which is French for bottleneck lake. At the time, they just did not have the technical instruments to measure the depth of the lake. It's over 300 feet of metal here. So again, this is Moose Lake. And again, mineral deposits very rich in copper. Think of Scottish copper or oxidized copper. It's a beautiful aquamarine. That's the reason behind the color of this lake. Again, this is Moose Lake. On the left-hand side, it's also where the Fraser River starts. Fraser River is the longest river in British Columbia. It starts here, goes all the way to the Pacific Ocean, opens up at Vancouver, Pacific Ocean. We will be following the Fraser River all the way to Prince George, actually, today. Again, this is Moose Lake. The Fraser River starts, longest river in British Columbia. And ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side, Moose Lake.
And now we're coming up on Red Pass Junction. I believe that's what the name is, Red Pass Junction. Maybe JF will correct me for myself. But here we are. We're branching off from the line that runs out to Kamloops, and we're heading off onto the line that ultimately runs to Prince Rupert. So here we go. Got some sort of Canadian national section stuff. So you'll get like an old 40-foot boxcar or something. You'll get a much better angle of it when we're going back, of course, because we'll be in touring class by then. So that is the Fraser River now, and we'll be following that for pretty much all the way to Prince George. So let's see what's next.
We're going to be traveling for 20 miles on it.
So yeah, just some more of Fraser, and we'll pick it up. I'll pick up the recording again once we get to another interesting point. So here we are at Dunster. Now Dunster is a little town with a population of about 75, and thank God, like 90% of the train, because it mostly consisted of tours, all got off here. So that freed up a ton of seats. So as you can see, I got a much better angle now through a proper seat. Through proper coach, proper seat now that has a proper window, and so it's gonna basically look like this for the majority of the run into Prince George. So I'll keep anyone watching informed of any interesting sights that come up along the way. So, excuse me. So we are currently departing Dunster, which is one of two original Grand Trunk Pacific style railway stations. The other is in a park somewhere, and I can't really. It's in a park somewhere in British Columbia. I can't really remember which one it is, but that's the only really active one, which is the one in Dunster. The community bought it for $1, and they restored it, and it's a nice little station. Though I didn't stop there, so yeah. So next major stop is going to be McBride, which we won't actually stop at on this run. So I'll rejoin the audio once we get there. So here we are coming into McBride, Alberta. I think it was McBride, British Columbia. But McBride is a true railroad town. You know, it's a railroad town. It's a farming town. It's got a nice station. It's modeled. The station's based on the station in Jasper. It's got a caboose on display. It's got a nice park and stuff. We'll be passing by it pretty shortly. You'll see it coming up pretty soon. The caboose should be coming into view right about now. So there's a caboose on display in the little park. And here is the actual station. So as you see, a very attractive little structure. Well, very attractive structure. And then we got the CN section house beyond that. And yeah, that's pretty much McBride. And geographically, we are currently traveling down the Rocky Mountain Trench, where it's a valley with the Rocky Mountains out of. You can see the Rocky Mountains out of the camera, and behind us would be the Caribou Mountains. So. Again, I'll go ahead and rejoin the audio once the next sort of interesting thing pops up. So I'll see you then. So yeah, pretty much after leaving McBride, the major landmarks are going to be, we're going to be following the Fraser River pretty much all the way to Prince George, And other than that, it'll just be some nice scenery. We're currently still traveling through the trench, but we'll transition onto the high plateaus of British Columbia, and eventually get to Prince George. So I'll rejoin once we see anything really interesting. So yeah, I'll get back to you whenever anything pops up. Alright, that's been a little while since I've said anything, but I just thought I'd point out this this like house track here. with all this gravel, ballast gravel and stuff, with the maintenance away consist on the siding. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is on all these sidings, all like the passing sidings that we usually have the way for freight trains in, they always have like a little like house track, which is just like an overgrown siding off the siding where they just store like maintenance equipment and stuff. So I just found that kind of interesting. So yeah, there's the maintenance sort of track there, and I guess the next major landmark will be when we're pulling into Prince George itself. So I'll see you all then. So, back again after a while, and this shot here, we are finally entering Prince George, British Columbia, and they have a very, very impressive bridge over the Fraser River, and we're going to be entering slowly into Prince George because, in the reality of traveling by passenger train in Canada, we'll have to yield to freight trains, and the freight train is ahead of us, and it's blocking the station in Prince George. So we had to wait for probably about an hour and a half on this bridge to have them clear up so that we could access the station. So I was prepared. I burned through a ton of data, watching videos and stuff, just trying to wait it out. So, but I managed, and the rest of the train, at least I hope they managed. So yeah, I'll come back when we're pulling into the yard. So finally, after a very, very long wait on the bridge, the freight train headed out of the yard, and we were able to enter the station and make our stop. So you'll see just the kind of stuff you'll see in Prince George Yard. So you'll see a lot of like container traffic, and you'll also see a lot of wood chip traffic, which I found rather interesting because I don't normally get a whole lot of wood chip traffic around where I'm from. So I found all the big old wood chip hoppers, former BC Rail stuff. I found that pretty interesting. So here we go, coming into Prince George Yard, and I will get back to you once to close this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are looking for the Ramada, on the left-hand side, that's the right, the brown building here, 2 blocks up. Just line yourself up with the gas station. Then this is, once we pass this building here, on the left-hand side, this brown building with the white letters called Ramada.
Sure, it's the last time I read it was quite
Because if I found it, I would
Here, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Husky gas station, the Ramada, 2 blocks down. And from the station, we're just 1 block away from the gas station. On the left-hand side, that building with telecommunication device on top of the building there. On the other side of the building, that's the spring Inn of the North, the Days Inn, and the Travel Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to...
So here we are. We're arriving in Prince George, and from here we walked down to our hotel, the Travelodge, and we argued. Dad and I argued about touring, upgrading to touring class. Eventually, we compromised that we would continue on to Rupert in economy and upgrade for the return. So, and a storm was rolling in, so you get to see a little bit of lightning flashes and stuff. We ordered pizza that night, so there we go. See you in the next part.